So King Solomon went on this 40-year search. He was searching for satisfaction in life. It was like this 40-year taste test where he just tasted life. And his first taste test was wisdom and power. So we're going to look at the first page in King Solomon's journal. It's Ecclesiastes 1:13. And he says, I gave my heart unto searching wisdom, and considered all things that are done under heaven. And so King Solomon started going after wisdom. And he had this PhD in biology. And then he goes into music, and he starts to write songs. In fact, King Solomon wrote 1,005 songs. So he became this guy who was full of all this wisdom. And then he changed. He started getting into power. And he started to write all these books. And people would fly in from all over the world. And he would sell out auditoriums. Literally, the Bible says that people would come out from all over the surrounding countries just to hear the wisdom and to see the power of King Solomon. And none of it satisfied him. In the second page of his journal, he says, I undertook great projects, and I built houses for myself, and I made gardens and parks. I bought slaves. I amassed silver and gold for myself. I acquired men and women singers, and I became greater by far than anyone in Jerusalem before me. I mean, the Bible says it took him 13 years to build his house. This guy, he built parks and aquariums, and he had servants where he could just snap his finger, and at any time he would just say, I need a drink, and someone would go run and get him another drink, and he'd taste again. And eventually he built this huge palace and huge life for himself. He had more money than Donald Trump or Bill Gates put together. He was the most powerful guy in the whole world. And you know what? Absolutely none of it satisfied him. And so his third and final search was all about the women and the wine. I think about having one mother-in-law. I can't imagine anyone having to manage that many relationships. But you know what? It was kind of like living a dream. He was kind of living out the lifestyle of Hugh Hefner and Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones all at once. He had the wine and the women. It was night after night. And he tried it one night, and he thought, man, that was pretty good. I'm going to try it again. But you know what? King Solomon, 40 years later, took his last drink. And after that, he wadded up his cup. And you know what? He said it didn't satisfy him. He took a cup and he had a drink of more power and more wisdom, and it didn't satisfy him. And so after that, what does he do? He goes on the whole money thing. And he grabs the cup, and it doesn't satisfy him. And then what does he do? He goes on the whole wine and women and song thing. All of that stuff. And that didn't satisfy him either, even though he tried and tried to make it work in his life. And we take a look at King Solomon and we say to ourselves, you know, I would never do that. I would never really just pursue women, or I would never pursue satisfaction, or I would never just go for the power. All of that stuff happens. You know, we all say, you know, I'm not just in it for the money. But you know what? The sad thing is, we all do it every day. we don't do it in this huge type of way. We don't mount on this 40-year search, but it's small drinks. So maybe you're trying religion to satisfy you, and you feel like, oh, that's not working, and so you just go and you try another one. Or maybe it's your relationship with your wife. That's not satisfying to you. Or maybe you just want to go and find somebody else. Maybe that will satisfy you. Maybe if you find yourself a new job, maybe that will satisfy you. Or maybe if you just find a friend, maybe that would satisfy. Or maybe you just feel like, if my kids would obey me, maybe that would satisfy. No, not if they would just obey me, but if they would just turn out to be the kind of kids that I want them to be, then maybe that would satisfy. If I could just get that degree, or if I could get that perfect grade, or if I could just do a great job on that paper, or maybe if I could get my husband or kids to come to church with me, I know that that would satisfy me, satisfy me, satisfy me. And then you look at all these taste tests, and you look back on your life and you've become just like Solomon. Nothing satisfies you.